also feel like this is really hard. I want the community to know this is hard for us as council, because this is not what we're geared for. We're geared for economic growth and keeping people going, but it's a temporary thing. I think that we're wanting guidance. That they want us to be, because they're asking questions. Well, can I do this or can I not do this? I'd like to know what the other council's thoughts are.
Could I interrupt just a moment? Julie, you cut out on the first thing you said. I got the golf course, but before you said there were a lot of people that were gathering at 7 o'clock in the morning. Where?
At the trail.
Oh, at the trails. Okay.
I mean, they're walking. They're not gathering. They're walking. But there's quite a few of them out there about the same time, and it's really hard to keep a 6-foot distance. You know, we closed the playground equipment. I'm not closing the trails or not. I don't. You know, it's just a thought.
One of the things we could do is you want to have an opportunity for people to get out and exercise so they don't go stir crazy in just their homes. Maybe what we could do is we could put some more signs or policing out there in some way to make sure that people using the trail are keeping their distance. Could we keep it open and police it a better way?
Well, that'd be up to the council. I'm just saying that several people have commented to me, and especially one couple, because they've both got some kind of underlying condition that they couldn't walk out there. There were just so many people. So they went to Wallace State Park, and of course they closed Wallace State Park. So I'm just kind of passing that up to the council. That's, you know.
I'm sorry, I kind of agree with Julie or Councilwoman Osmus. I like I said, it's hard to do, and we don't do it, but we do have, you know, sidewalks in town where it would be easier for distancing and cross the street, or you can, you know, make a point of doing that where it's not crowded.
Sure.
I think city shops for the most part, and shops have mostly done that on their own, but I really think that that's another option that we need to look at. Massage parlors, tanning beds. Does the council have anything to say?
I would agree. I think we need to be proactive, because the consequences of letting this thing get in front of us are so significant. There's no question this is a hardship, but it's also public safety. Among things I'd like us to consider is maybe dental offices for emergency only. You know, not just regular maintenance. Any workout facilities. I also wonder if we shouldn't have a discussion about the inside traffic on a lot of the C-stores, because there's almost no way to, things are so close in that environment, and people are running in and out, and if they're getting lottery tickets or something, that I'm wondering if C-stores should be open for carry out and for gasoline only. Your all's thoughts?
I'm not sure that a cup of coffee is an essential thing to be going in and getting, and everybody touching the cups and things like that. So, and I do know there have been some of those stores that have questioned whether that was an essential. They just don't know. They want guidance.
I mean, I kind of agree with Denny, but I have been in a couple of convenience stores, and Casey's, both south and north, and the people that are checking other people out are wearing masks and gloves. Somebody said something about a protective barrier, but I don't see that at Casey's. But I kind of agree with him with, like, you know, the workout facilities and the places where you can get massages and any kind of salon, are those really essential? I mean, I don't have nails anymore because my girl's not doing it, but
Yeah. So I know some of them have been proactive and taking it on themselves.
well, and that's what I think we ought to be. I think we ought to be proactive instead of reactive. Can I ask a question? Do we know how many confirmed cases in Cameron that we have? We know of 2 at least. Do we have?
I did do a rundown on that for you, and here's what we have. We have and just to show you, in Johnson County, we have 175 confirmed cases, 1 death. In our 4-county area, we have 9 confirmed cases and deaths as of this morning.
Okay, but do we know how those are in Cameron?
Yes, we still have 3 in Cameron, and I'm not sure how the total 9 break out, but 3 are in Cameron for sure.
Well, that's not bad.
No, and we want to keep it like that if we can.
No, I understand that. That's exactly
One of
what we want it to go right on past us.
Yeah, one of the things you were talking about, Julie, in the convenience store, is there are not barriers. You know, some places they put up the plexiglass barriers between the clerks and the customers. Maybe what we could do is we could mandate that if you're going to allow customers to come into the convenience stores, that you have to have a barrier between the clerks and the customers.
If I may ask about that, I see my office is still open, and the only reason it's still open is because I put up barriers, and they're not to do. I have asked Corey if that is a safe thing to do, because I told my clerks, we either putting a mask on or the barriers up. If I was a convenience store, I would consider sure that I don't have barriers, have masks on. The end. Everybody's starting to wear them. I think people can start being responsible. I don't think we need to start shutting down things as far as like a convenience store. You know, we wipe everything down. So I think to allow people to feel somewhat normal, they can be responsible to themselves, either wear a mask or don't come in. Or
Go ahead.
or we have barriers. Like
Yeah.
put a barrier up before any cashier at all.
And another thing that I'd like to see, and I'm sure that the large retail places would like to see, Walmart, the grocery stores, is only one person per family, unless you are a single mom and you have to take your children with you. I get that. But not whole families, not like an outing. This isn't an outing anymore. It's go in, get your stuff, and get out.
Yes, and I think Walmart needs to do that this weekend, but we can certainly put that into a directive so that everybody would do the same thing. And Walmart is starting doing it. It should not be a surprise to anybody.
Right. Right. I just feel like we just need to be proactive, and these larger places, I know some of them can't, but I know City Hall has done the rotation with employees. I want to realize, I know where I work, Farmer State Bank has been proactive, and we are on a rotation right now. Because with those large places, with all those employees, if one of their people get this, they have to quarantine everybody, and then that shuts their business down completely. I mean, we can't force them to do that, but I would seriously hope that they would consider it, or to keep their business doors open.
Mayor, if I may offer some comments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a couple things that we need to keep in mind here. You know, the testing's increasing, and I mentioned this at one of the last council meetings. We're going to see those positive cases go up. We're in the acceleration phase of this virus right now. So that means we're going up, and it depends on what we do as far as social distancing and washing our hands for 20 seconds frequently throughout the day, and abiding by the DHSS order to stay home, and then previously the Clinton County order to stay home. All those things are absolutely essential, but ultimately this comes down to common sense. The more viral load, in other words, you're around people that are infected, and you have to assume community spread is here. So everyone that we are in contact with is a potential vector for this virus. So we are way past the travel thing. We have to be under the assumption that everybody's infected. So we have to follow those social distancing rules. And we, for the most part, our community is following those rules. So I've heard a lot of comments and stuff made this evening that are important, and I understand that. However, I also think we have to look at this from a common sense approach. There's an education component involved with social distancing. I know at Walmart, I think they're allowed, based on their square footage, 314 people inside their store at one time. I believe that's the number. Don't quote me on that. But we have to be able to allow people to get out, get outside. They can't just stay inside, but they have to abide by those social distancing. So yes, I agree with those that are in direct contact with other people. That's got to stop. I mean, otherwise we're going to continually perpetuate the cycle of being infected. So those are all important steps that we need to do. And we also have to have the, and I don't like to use the word authority, but the ability as a city to stop those things from happening. We definitely don't want to see a New York situation here or a Louisiana situation here. Can I tell you that may occur? Yeah. Can I tell you it may not occur? Yeah. We don't really know, because the data is only good in the models as what's being presented. So again, I agree with a lot of the things that's been said tonight. I just think we need to take a step back and let staff analyze some of our thoughts and come up with some good ideas. You know, I'm not sure closing the trails at this particular moment is the best idea, but it may be the only idea if we're not able to get people to comply and understand the seriousness of this virus. And I'll tell you three things, then I'll close. Number one, everybody says, well, influenza kills more people each year than the coronavirus does. Okay, I would agree so far, you're correct. The difference is the coronavirus is more contagious than influenza is. We currently have antivirals that can help with the treatment of influenza. And we also have a vaccine that's the best guess vaccine for the particular strain that public health believes we're going to have. We don't have the antivirals, though some are in the works. And we currently don't have a vaccine for the coronavirus, though some are in the works. So those three things are very key and very paramount to our discussion tonight in what we need to do to help educate and get our public involved. This is a very serious situation. We are in the acceleration phase. This is where we need to start flattening the curve and stopping that peak where we can start the deceleration phase of this pandemic. Thank you, Mayor. I'll give it back.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Steve, your mic's muted.
Can you hear me now, Mayor? Can you hear me? This is Steve.
Yes.
Okay, Corey can. I'd like to go through these, and maybe what we can do is we can draft up a list of these things then and send them out to the council and see which ones kind of will make the cut. But I'm just going to list the ones I've been writing down. And if somebody has more to add to that, you can. If someone is not in agreement with these, let us know, and then we'll draft something up. What I've got here is parks and playgrounds, golf course and clubhouse, trails, massage parlors, beauty shops, nail salons. I think included in that probably is barber shops.